We are pleased to be joined by members of Gotham FC today. We have Rose Lavelle, Jaden Shaw, and Coach Juan Carlos Amaros. Did I say that well?
Yeah, good.
Thank you very much. All right, once again, we'll start with questions in the room, and then we'll go to questions on the Zoom. We do ask that when we do call on you, that you identify yourself and your outlet, and then go ahead with your question. So we'll go ahead and get started with questions in the room. Dino, I saw your hand first. Got the mic?
A question for Jaden. What was going through your mind last week before the free kick? What was the conversation before the free kick? And then I'm just very curious about the mindset that you expect going into tomorrow night.
Yeah, obviously both me and Rose are over it, and I think we just wait and see what the picture looks like to determine which one of us is going to take it. It turned out to be a good picture for me to go outside the wall, back post. So, I mean, I feel like I've just practiced them all week and made sure that I was prepared to step up in that moment. I think for me, I put it right where I was trying to, lower back post, put in an area where it'll cause chaos, and that's ultimately what helped it go in the goal. Yeah, for the mentality going into the next game, I think it stays the same throughout each game. I think mentality gets better with each game for us, and just building off of the last games. I think going in knowing that we're going to have to show ourselves and bring it to them the first 5-10 minutes, like set the tone, and then just go off of there and be aggressive, front-footed, and ultimately be clinical in both boxes. So yeah.
All right, next hand I saw, I believe, was Dan, right in front of you, Dino.
Hi, Dan Lawletter from Equalizer. Question is for Juan. Second time here in 3 years, but with a roster that is largely unrecognizable from the 2023 roster. So how has the club managed to continue to be competitive with such high turnover and then get back here 2 years later?
I think we've stayed loyal to who we want to be on the pitch and how we want to play. And we've been able to, obviously, there has been changes in that roster, but we've been lucky to add some incredible world-class talent. Like, obviously, here we have two of those with Jaden and Rose. And at the same time, we are, I think, developing young players. And I think the key is to have a clear vision of what you want to do on the pitch, how you want to do it. We try to play in a style that sometimes it's a bit complex, but we see football as an art that we try to make sure it's fun for the people that watch it to really enjoy and for the players to play. And I think that's what it kept us also being competitive. No?
Thanks, Dan. We're going to go right in front of you to Tamara.
Hi, Tamara Griffin with The Athletic. One question for Juan and Rose, and then a separate one for Jaden, if I may. Juan, you've spoken throughout the season about the importance of Gotham playing many, many games, CONCACAF, of course, in addition to NWSL, including preseason in Spain, even really. I'm wondering, Juan and Rose, if you can sort of talk about the benefits of having such a heavy schedule. Obviously, there are risks that we all know of in terms of the load and injury, but I'm curious about the benefits that you've experienced and how you think that may have contributed to your journey to another final. And then Jaden, happy belated birthday, first of all. You, of course, joined later in the season, but I'm curious, what do you think has made it so easy for you to make such a smooth transition into this team? I know you've spoken about how easy it is to get close with your team, but what else has sort of allowed you to make such a quick and instant impact?
Rose, maybe you want to go first and then I
Sure.
follow up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, it's like been a bit of a roller coaster of a season. I think we've had a lot of like high highs, a lot of low lows, a lot of crazy travel. But I think with all of that, it's allowed us a lot of roster rotation. So a lot of people stepping up and playing different roles. I think going through that kind of adversity throughout the season has allowed us to be like ready for these moments. So yeah, I think I know maybe we didn't finish the season how we would have liked, but I think with that being said, the whole season we've had so much confidence in the group that we have and in the talent that we have within the room. So I think this playoff push, like that's what we've really leaned into. And I think it's just been big because it's taken every single person the whole season. Like everybody has gotten good minutes. And yeah, I think it's allowed everybody to like step up when we needed them to. And I think that's really what it takes to be a winning team.
Yeah, just to maybe try to complete the fantastic answer, because I think she really highlighted everything really well. I think for us is obviously we know we are the team that has played the most games, that has traveled the most, but I think in there what is being key is also our players probably have spent the most time together, and I think our strength comes from the group. Honestly, the way the young players have come into the team, and the way the senior players have embraced the young ones, how the people that has come halfway through the year, how they've gel together is definitely our strength. And coming now, for example, into the playoffs, having played, for example, in Mexico in May, and playing in that big competition for us where we had to go through a semi-final, a final, knowing how to compete in those moments together with a lot of the young players also performing in that moment. I think that obviously those are experiences that obviously you can look at them like, oh, they get you tired, you travel more, you play more, but then it's also a consequence of your success, and it also prepares you more, no? So I think we always try to look at the glass half full, and I think those experiences and that time together has put us in this press conference today ready to play the championship final tomorrow, no?
All right, thanks. We're going to go to the back row.
There was the
Jaden.
question for Jaden
Jaden.
too.
Oh, sorry about that, Jaden.
Yeah, I think for me, it's been a really smooth transition. And with the team, I think I appreciate how the staff just like put a lot of meetings at the front end of it. And so it allowed me to get up to speed really quickly. I think also playing games helps. Like, I think, obviously I've gotten close with a lot of the girls really quickly, but on the field as well, like that's really important. And I think just being able to get in and play games and jump into those like scenarios and build that chemistry quickly was something that really helped along the way as well. And it's like not very hard to come in and be a part of this group and enjoy it. And I think for me, like I said before, like it feels like a sisterhood on and off the field. So I think for me, it's yeah, just really great to be a part of this team.
Now we got everybody. We'll go to the back row.
I'm Grant with the Into the Channel podcast. So you guys have World Cup champions, European champions, Olympic gold medalists. Rose, you've played at the absolute pinnacle of the sport. You played great in the 2019 World Cup final. How do you do you adopt any of that? Do you give that wisdom to the rest of your team? How do you see your role in kind of preparing your teammates for a massive match like this?
I mean, I think once you get to these kind of moments, it's like it's the culmination of all your hard work that led to this. So I think this has been something that we've been like slowly preparing for and prepping for throughout the whole season. I think, like I said, in the moments of the tough travel and the adversity of facing injury and having to have a lot of roster rotation, I think that gives you little bits of experience to prepare you for this. I think we're really lucky with like kind of the wealth of experience we have on the roster. A lot of people who have played in really high pressure, big moments. So that's definitely something that we can also lean into in these moments. But I think like as a team, like we've been working towards this the whole season. So I think it's just kind of like leaning into that. We've put all the work, we put all the preparation in, and we have a really good group that's prepared to go out and put out a good performance tomorrow.
And Coach, I'm curious about your perspective on that. You have that, institutional knowledge there. How do you use that?
Well, I think we try to lean on them. At the end of the day, they are the ones that play. So we try to also get the opinions, get how they see things. But I think it's, as Rose said, that it's a consequence of the whole year. It's not something that you suddenly are at this point and you think, oh, like, what do we need to do to win this kind of game? No, like, for example, Rose, yeah, she was injured for a very long period of the year at the beginning, and instead of just working in isolation, she was already one of the leaders, one of the captains, making sure everything was taken care of, making sure adaptation of the young players was good. Like those are the moments that really get you to this point when obviously now it was her, Emily, Jess Carter and Esther, those are more senior players that are ready to take on that responsibility. But at the same time, we have Josie, Sarah, Lily, Rio, that are very young players that are also contributing, and they are at the pitch at the same time. And if they are ready, if people like them at this point, it's because of the whole season. So yeah, that's why I think everything that you do from day one is so important, and it's a lot of the credit needs to go to them, because you as a coach, you're limited. At the end of the day, there's 26 of them. Is how they're gonna be with each other, how much they're gonna go out of the way to support that person, and they've been great with that. So I'm as a coach, I'm really proud of how they've grown as a group to get to this point.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna come all the way over to this side. We can pass that mic across.
Hi, Maddie Kenny with the New York Post. This is a question for you, Juan Carlos. In 2023, there's been a lot of comparison to 2023 and now, just because being the last seed, being on the doorstep of a championship. But I'm curious if you feel the same magic, because maybe you were underdogs in 2023, and this year, as that's been made pretty clear that you're not underdogs, you're supposed to be here. So I guess, does it feel different or the same?
I think it's a different magic, but it's definitely a magic. I think we work so hard to make sure that we get to this point. I think I'm a big believer that people is what create any environment. Obviously, a lot of the people is different to the environment that we have now, but it's still very special on different ways. And obviously now we are in the championship, but also, I don't want to forget the team from last year that maybe was the one that beat all the records and beat almost everything that this club has done before, and they were also fantastic. I think it's just the journey of each group is different, and we try to make sure that we control all the controllables that can get us to this point, but definitely every step of the way, and obviously the last couple of games have been incredible. I would really appreciate if we can score goals earlier, so it's not as intense in the last seconds of the game. But at the end of the day, that's the beauty of this game. These girls have worked so hard to get to this point, and they're definitely ready to do it again.
All right, we're gonna come all the way across. Back.
Esta pregunta es para ti, Mister Juan Carlos. Mira, estamos ahorita ya en la final. Estuviste a punto de ganarte, fuiste nominado para ganarte el Coach of the Year este año, y ahorita te vas a enfrentar contra Adrián González, que ahorita viene a esta final a demostrar que es el head coach de las Washington Spirit, porque anteriormente era interino. ¿Tienes bastante presión en este momento, o te sientes que va a ser un partido que es algo normal y no va a haber tanta competición, o te sientes muy seguro de que esta final ustedes se la van a llevar?
Hombre, nosotros trabajamos para estar seguros de que esta final nos la vamos a llevar. Creo que evidentemente Adrián es un fantástico entrenador y ha hecho un trabajazo, ¿no? con Washington, tanto este año como el anterior. Yo la verdad que desde que empecé a entrenar equipos siempre tengo la misma intención de ganar el siguiente partido. Al final, cuando ganas muchos partidos, pues llegas a partidos como este, ¿no? Una final de un Championship que para mí es, pues digamos, el mejor partido que se puede jugar a nivel de clubes ahora mismo, con la final de la Champions League, ¿no? A lo mejor son los dos partidos más grandes a nivel mundial, y muy orgulloso de poder estar aquí, pero creo que al final el trabajo que hacemos o que hago yo como entrenador, sin mi equipo técnico, mi technical staff, al final ellos son los que hacen muchísimo de las funciones que yo tengo. Yo soy un poco la cara visible, pero tenemos un fantástico grupo de trabajo con Zoe, con Andy, con Anton, con Sean, con Clyde Brody. Tenemos muchísimos entrenadores que trabajan con ellas en el día a día, y al final pues creemos que estamos preparados para ganar, pero no sentimos una presión diferente que cuando jugamos cualquier otro partido del año, pero sabemos que el premio es mucho mayor, ¿no?
Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Okay, we're gonna go all the way to the back to Anthony, and then right next to him, and then we'll come back to the front to Jeff.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Rose. Anthony Flores with NBC Bay Area. I know the focus is the match, but just wondering what you think of the venue and having this championship match here in the Bay Area.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think it's really exciting. I think obviously we've played here as an away team, and every time we played, it's like it's such a fun atmosphere. It's a city that's really showed up for their team. So I think we're excited for the opportunity to hopefully have more Gotham fans here this go around, and get to experience it maybe more as a neutral site or hopefully a home crowd. But yeah, I think it's been a great expansion team, and they continue to like build and make it better every single year. And that's exactly what you want is just continued investment and continuing to like push the standard. So yeah, I think it's a great site for it to be at, and we're excited.
My question was more or less the same thing in terms of atmosphere, and Ruben, KTVU, Fox 2, but it's at a game at this level, the championship, and then being here. I mean, are you guys already feeling the excitement? I know we haven't quite gotten there yet, but like, do you see the fans? Do you get, I mean, does it feel different being here? What is the level of excitement, if you could talk about it?
High. High level of excitement. I think anytime you have the opportunity to like compete for a trophy, it's special. And I think with the group we had and like all that we have gone through the whole season, I think it'd be just icing on the cake. I also think just getting to be a part of like the New York, New Jersey sports market is so cool. So I think to be able to like bring a trophy back to that would be really special. But yeah, I mean, I think it's NWSL playoffs is just like a whole different beast. So I think like when you get to this point, it's just like you just got to go out and have fun and stay present and really soak it in.
All right, we're going to bounce to the front again to Jeff.
Jeff Kasubi, ESPN. I'm wondering, Juan, maybe from a tactical perspective here, and Rose, just building off maybe experience from last year's playoffs, the Spirit being a team that you're very familiar with, have seen a lot. What kind of particular challenges does that present? I mean, there's the line that, you know, you want to stick to your game plan, obviously, and they want to do the same. So how do you sort of try to find those moments that you're not canceling each other out with how familiar you are with each other?
I think for us, it's just like making sure that we are able, as you said, to execute our game plan and dominate the game. I think one thing that Washington is maybe similar to us is that we both are teams that want to dominate the game in all the aspects, not only in the possession, but defend where we want to defend and attack how we want to attack. I think that's very important. Maybe we are and they are also two teams that have a lot of tools in terms of different situations of the game, how we behave, but ultimately it's going to be down to the main characters of the game. No, the main characters of the game for me are the players. As the coaches, we try to create those scenes for them to respond to those stimulus in a similar manner, but ultimately it's a game that is impossible to predict, and that's where they take that responsibility, wherever it's a magical free kick, a moment for a 1v1, a ball through, read the picture early at the back. You know, like there is so many things that is completely down to them that I think that the team that is able to get both in the best way, the best game plan, but then also the players to be able to solve those situations the best, it will be the one winning. And I think we are prepared. I'm sure Adrian thinks the same about his team, and hopefully it's a great game that Gotham wins. So.
All right, we've got one more question in the room, and then we'll go to Zoom. Jeff, do you mind passing?
Hello, Mel from ESPN. Jaden, a question for you. I think we all remember after Kansas City, you said to the press, "Underdog's my ass." Talk to me about mentality. Does this team love proving to everyone time and time again that you're underrated and you're not underdogs?
Yeah, I think for us, we know the kind of roster that we have. We know that we can, win the whole thing. And I think for us, knowing that people are counting us out, being, the 8th seed and coming in and playing, Kansas City that had basically dominated the entire season. I think for us going into that game, we knew that we were going to have to show them who we were and show them who we are. And that's carried over into the semifinals as well. I think for us, like, we have such an incredible amount of experience on our team. And I think you could just tell, like, everybody knows exactly what they need to do going into that game and going into every game. And yeah, I mean, mentality is such a big thing. It's something that's going to carry us through the hard moments and the great moments. And yeah, I think for us, I mean, obviously that's like been a quote now, but I think it's the truth. Like that's how we felt going into that game, and we're just going to continue to let that motivate us into winning the championship.
All right, thanks. We have a couple questions on the Zoom. First up, Jenna Tonelli. Jenna, go ahead and unmute.
Thank you. Hi, all. Jenna Tonelli, Sports Illustrated. Wanted to ask any three of you who might have an opinion on this. With the final being a matchup between Spirit and Gotham, who are geographically probably the closest teams, and having the final out in California at a neutral site, it's kind of renewed some discussions about whether or not the NWSL finals should be held at the highest seed stadium or continue at a neutral site. I'm just curious if you've thought about this at all. You have any opinions on it? Especially given, kind of what you were saying, Rose, about wanting to feel like maybe you have a home crowd.
I haven't really thought about it much, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know if I have a good answer. I have not thought about that before.
Okay, so I think obviously when there's a neutral space like this one, I think the fans that come, hopefully most of them won't go Gotham to win, but a lot of them are gonna come just looking for a great women's sport performance, and I think that's what we're gonna try to do, and hopefully those fans get excited watching our players play and how we play and the moments of magic that they are able to create. And by the end of the game, all the people that came with a little bit of a doubt of which team am I gonna support, they are Gotham supporters.
Nice.
There you go.
All right, thanks, Jenna. Up next is Sean Hartnett. Sean? Sean, we
Hi,
can't hear
Rose.
you.
I know you mentioned
There.
the culture in New York and having the opportunity to represent that. New York City is a place of many cultures, many people. It seems like Gotham has something for everybody. How proud are you to represent this team and the New York City community?
Oh yeah, I think it's just been so fun. I think obviously there's so much to do in New York. Like, so I think that like off the field, I feel like we've had a lot of like moments as a team that have just allowed us to like continue to like grow and build connections in that way. And I think being able to like show up and cheer on all the other New York, New Jersey teams has been really cool. So I think just like being a part of that, it really is like, it's just like such a special, fun feeling. And like I said, I think if we can like help contribute a trophy to that sports market, it would be really, really cool and special, especially with the group that we've had this year.
And just where you are in your career right now, I know you're sitting next to Jaden and you're both in different stages of your careers. Do you get the feeling like, everything has to break right for you to make a championship match like this, and opportunities like this are seldom? So do you drill down to your teammates just how important and how rare this opportunity is?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think like I said, anytime you get the chance to compete for a trophy, it's really special, and it's hard to get here, obviously. I think that's why it's like once you do it, you really have to just like soak it in and enjoy it and let yourself have fun. But yeah, like I said, I think this has been like the culmination of a lot of hard work put into this season, and it's all landing on one day. But I think we know all of the behind the scenes stuff that we put into it, and it's going to be a 2-hour game, but there were so many hours put into getting to this moment. So it's definitely not something that anybody should really take lightly. But something also we want to like continue to push this club to be competing in every single year. So I think it's good for this group to like be able to have this experience and hopefully get a taste of it and continue to push for that to be the standard every year.
And Jaden, as a young player, it might be really cool for you just seeing young girls getting invested in the game, wanting to wear your jersey, wanting to wear Rose's jersey. How amazing is that for you as a young player and having that responsibility?
Yeah, I think for me, one of my motivations is just being a role model for all of those little kids that may like look like me or have a similar background or just like want to be like in this position. I think it's so important. Like I didn't have that representation growing up. So just being that for someone else is so special. And being in this moment, I've never made it to the championship in the NWSL before. So yeah, it's just so special to be here and a part of this group and in this stage.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. All right, time for one more question. Luis Rodriguez. Luis?
Buenas tardes, coach. Luis Rodríguez, from desde la línea podcast. Coach, una temporada, como mismo había comentado en inglés, de momentos muy altos, también momentos muy bajos de la temporada. Quiero que me hables a 24 horas cómo te sientes de disputar una final, después de quizás llegar a una final de la manera más difícil, entrando 8, teniendo que eliminar al campeón de la temporada y después eliminando un equipo como Orlando.
Bueno, pues me siento orgulloso, ¿no? Porque como acaba de decir Rose y también han comentado antes, al final son muchísimas horas, meses de trabajo, no solo mío, sino también de ellas, de las jugadoras, del resto del staff, de los propietarios, del staff médico, operaciones, todo el mundo pone muchísimo esfuerzo y tiempo en intentar conseguir este objetivo, ¿no? De llegar a la final y de ganar el campeonato, pero también creo que es importante, siempre hablo mucho de que al final el momento en el que ganas es exactamente el momento en el que el árbitro pita o la árbitra pita al final del partido, pero todo lo que se hace durante el partido o antes, toda esa preparación, estos días, estar aquí, la sesión de entrenamiento que vamos a hacer ahora, creo que la clave para tener éxito es el disfrutar en cada momento y el poder ir preparándonos para ese momento. Y al final también en los momentos bajos nos hemos centrado mucho en los procesos, en lo que hacíamos bien, las cosas que debíamos mejorar. Y al final, pues creo que es lo que nos ha llevado a tener al fin una temporada exitosa que esperemos pueda ser también culminada mañana con el Gotham ganando el campeonato, ¿no?
Algún momento cuando te pregunté en esos momentos bajos sobre qué era lo importante para mantener la cabeza en alto y creer en los procesos, y me dijiste que creo que estabas llevando un proceso. Al inicio de la temporada perdieron jugadoras importantes, en el medio llegaron jugadoras importantes. O sea, háblame a 24 horas de una final y has completado el proceso.
Sí, bueno, al final evidentemente hemos conseguido los objetivos que teníamos también de cómo empezó la temporada, cómo evolucionó, pues también hay que ir adaptándose, ¿no? Al final empezamos la temporada, como bien has dicho, con algunas jugadoras importantes fuera, como Rose, y luego pues sucedió lo de Tierra y al final pues también las jugadoras a lo mejor que fichamos vinieron tarde o jugadoras que se incorporaron como Jaden a mitad de temporada, pero al final es ese proceso, esa evolución que queríamos hacer del equipo del año pasado a este y el poder crecer, creo que al final hemos conseguido completar el proceso a un nivel de éxito importante y que esperemos que se culmine mañana, ¿no?